Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers Book Blog, and today we are doing a mid-year update with a special guest. Our guest reviewer, Jen, is joining me today to talk about some of the books that she's loved so far in 2025 from what she's read, and even looking ahead at some new releases that are upcoming that she's already had a chance to read and love. So get your pen and paper ready. You're going to get some recommendations, and also let us know in the comments if you've read any of these books already and what you thought of them. Jen has been a guest reviewer here at Under the Covers for several years, and if you want to check out all of her reviews, I'm going to leave a link to all of those in the show's description as well, so you can check those out. And she's also been a guest of the podcast and our YouTube channel, so I'm going to leave a couple of the videos and episodes that we've chatted with her about specific books. But now let's just give her a warm welcome here on the podcast. Hey, Jen, welcome back to the Reading Under the Covers podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
It's so exciting to sit and pick your brain about all the latest things that you've been loving. I know you've been reading a lot. You've been reading a lot of good books. So I'm excited to hear all the things. So tell me a little bit about, did you have any reading goals for the year? Did you have a number set? How are you doing? Like a check-in on how it's going.
Normally, my default reading goal is just like 75 books a year because I always like to hit the goal for sure. I don't want to spend the last 3 days of the year struggling trying to get a couple more books in because I haven't hit my goal. So I'd rather go above and beyond my goal than set it too low instead of setting it too high and feeling the stress in December. I always hit 75 books. Now I'm at 68. So audiobooks have played a big role in that this year. So yeah, I'm definitely going to hit my goal this year. I like to try and hit at least 100, even though my goal is 75. So I should be good either way. I also do a 30,000 page goal for the year. And I know I'm well ahead of that too. According to Storygraph, I'm at a little over 22,000 pages. So I should hit that goal as well this year. So yeah.
That's exciting. I do completely agree with the audiobooks being like the lifesaver right now, because that's been the same for me. I've gone also above what I was thinking for the year. I think I'm at 80 right now, and my goal was for like 150. So I'm pretty sure that I will hit that and go above. But yeah, audiobooks, hands down the best thing. I'm even when I read ebooks, I do the text to speech. So technically, they're audiobooks too. They're just a little more robotic.
Yeah, I tried that for one book, and then I think it was just my phone settings, but I hated the phone settings on the text to speech. So I turned that off rather quickly. And yeah.
It's definitely not ideal. It's very robotic, but the thing is, I'm also used to listening to audiobooks at a minimum of 2.5 or above. So I'm used to the chipmunk. So I don't do as bad with the text to speech, but it's definitely some getting used to. There's definitely words that it reads them weird, or if there's like fantasy names or things like that, it's what the hell did that just say? But then you get used to it. It's okay. So it's trying to say that. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's a struggle, but that's probably the only way that I can get any reading done, because I'm just always busy doing other things and work. So I imagine same for you.
Yeah, a lot of kind of data entry stuff, or just even getting ready to go out. It's like audiobook is playing. Yeah.
Audiobooks for the win. If you guys are not listening to audiobooks, definitely recommend. Where do you get most of your audiobooks?
Most of them from the library. I take a big advantage of that, or the ones that are on Kindle Unlimited. Like you can switch back and forth between. I do that sometimes, but more than probably 90% of my audiobooks I get from the library.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for people, like if their library doesn't have a certain book on audio format, but it is available, like what would be the best way for them to make sure the library requests those?
Yeah, just talking to your librarian, asking to see if they can get it. I know as a librarian, getting that feedback of, hey, I'm really interested in this, we love hearing that. So there's a really good chance your library would be willing to get it if you show that interest that probably don't know people are interested in it. So ask first. There are some libraries out there that you don't have to be like a local resident to get a library card for. And I know they have really vast catalogs too. So that's always second. I haven't gone that route yet, but I've heard a lot of people have taken advantage of that. Yeah, there's libraries out there that are there to help you, and usually they're more than willing to. Just ask.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Actually, I do have the non-resident card for the New Orleans Library, which does have a pretty decent selection of romance audiobooks. So I do get some of those there, and I can recommend, but I have noticed a couple of them are discontinuing their non-resident programs as well. We may be losing some of that, but definitely talk to your local libraries and work with them. I think that's always the best bet, right? Okay, so what have you been reading? What kind of genres really have you been reading the most? And is that like something that you were planning? Is it steady, same like usual, or what's been happening?
Definitely a lot of paranormal romance, a lot of fantasy romance, which isn't unheard of for me. Probably I've done a lot of paranormal romance series rereads this year. I think I actually have 4 different vampire series that I'm currently rereading, going back and forth in between. I wasn't really planning that, but vampire romance is my cozy fallback. So when I was looking for some stuff to read, especially in audiobooks, I just started picking up some of those series again, and I've been really enjoying them. Especially for the most part, these are books that I read either paperback or ebook the first time around, so I'm enjoying getting the audiobook take this time and picking up details that I didn't get the first time through when I was reading them originally. So yeah, there's 4 different series I'm rereading. Fantasy romance, it's usually a standard for me too, and there's been some good contemporary this year as well, but yeah, for me it seems mostly not just regular old human beings are my go-to this year.
We need those vampires and those fangs for sure.
Definitely.
What are those series that you're in the middle of rereading?
Let's see. I'm about 10 books in on Lindsay Sands' Argento series. Some of these books I've read 3 or 4 times, but for the most part, they're the first time I'm doing them in audio, so I'm really enjoying that. I'm also rereading. I'm 2 books into the Night Huntress series from Janine Frost. Those I'm doing on Kindle Unlimited since she put them there, taking advantage of those page reads for that. I'm also, I think, 3 books in audio on the Midnight Breed series from Laura Adrian.
Good stuff.
Then I'm also finally getting back into rereading the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I'm on book 4 currently, so I'm currently on Butch and Marissa's romance. So kind of all of the hype from the show finally got to me. I had to dive back into that.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot going on social media. I've actually really enjoyed the videos where you can see Ward actually meeting the characters for the first time. Because it's almost like you really feel like, oh, they're coming out of the page and like they're what I envision, which I'm happy.
I saw her talking at their little premiere that they did about how these characters have been in her head for 20 years and it's just so unreal that now they're actually there and they've been in her head this whole time and now everyone can see them. And so, yeah, I haven't watched the first episode yet, but I'm probably going to wait until they're all 6 are out so I can binge them all. But yeah, I'm excited, and that push got me back into the reread for that.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure. I think that especially because we are getting like that beloved part of the series, which was like the core at the beginning is so good. So it's, like that nostalgia is definitely getting to me too.
Yeah.
But also Midnight Breeds. Oh God, I should reread that. It's so good. Definitely also it's a great series for someone that has read Black Dagger Brotherhood. Like to go into Midnight Breeds is an excellent choice. Because
if you like
the warriors too.
Yeah, if you like the aspect of kind of darker, grittier, like these are warriors, they're not just like prim and proper vampires that are more like the romantic ideal. If you like your vampires more on the tough, side, then yeah, the Midnight Read series is definitely a good one to go into.
Yeah, for sure. Have you read the spin-off?
I've read a few of them. I haven't read all of them yet. I dabbled in a couple of them.
Same. Okay, so with rereads, there's lots of excitement in vampires, but what have you read that stands out that's newer? Or maybe some backlist, but that they were new to you this year?
I was gonna say a 2025 release that I really liked was The Neverless by Jade Presley. It's a fantasy heavy on the romance. It's a why choose between four princes and our leading lady who has to potentially save the whole kingdom by falling in love with all four princes. And it's definitely there's a little sword crossing going on. But yeah, it was a really good. I believe it's a debut from her, but it is a first in the series. I devoured that earlier this year. Or may not have fallen totally head over heels for the why choose aspect. But yeah, it was really good. All four princes were definitely, it was hard to choose. I wouldn't have been able to choose between any one of them either. So yeah, I totally understand her.
Plus, it worked out well then. She gets to keep all of them. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen a lot of buzz about that book too. So I'm definitely curious to read it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the second book however long it takes to get that one. But yeah, it was a great build up, great plot as well. Definitely a little spicy. But yeah, I loved all the characters. So I can't wait to see where they go from here.
Was that your first why choose or you've read before?
No, I've definitely read. A lot of why choose has been more paranormal and not just, we got like pack mentality, that kind of stuff. But yeah, not my first why choose, but probably one of the few more fantasy why choose that I've read in recent memory. So
yeah, it definitely sounds really good. So I'm also really looking forward to reading that one. I'm writing that one down on my list for sure. So what else has stand out from maybe, I don't know if other paranormals or some contemporaries?
See, a contemporary, I love Lana Ferguson. So I recently read the arc of Overruled, which is a very heated rival lawyers who can't keep to themselves outside of the courtroom. It was very spicy. I loved it. I think I read it in like a day and a half because I couldn't put it down. But I just love her characters, and whether she's writing contemporary or paranormal, she can't do wrong in my book. So that one I was very excited to read and loved it as much as I anticipated loving it. So
yeah, I think that one is still coming out in September, maybe.
It might be July. It might be early July, maybe.
Yeah, it's still coming out like future from when we're talking.
Yeah.
So,
but
something to look forward
soonish,
to.
Yeah,
that's exciting. I know that you really love her books. I still have yet to read her, so I will do that.
You need to read Under Lock and Key because until you've read a Lochness monster shifter romance, you haven't really.
That was really calling to me.
That one's probably my favorite of hers, just because we have the burly Scottish grump and who just also happens to turn into the Loch Ness monster at night. Yeah, that's probably my favorite of her so far. So
okay, I think you convinced me. I'm gonna read that one.
The audiobook in that one is also good. I listened to the audiobook after I read the arc for that one. So I've done both. You can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, I think I did get the audiobook for that. So I'm probably gonna dive into that one. It's how can you say no to the Loch Ness monster, right? You can't. Any other upcoming ones that you're either excited for or that you've read?
I did read Alicia Thompson's upcoming book, Never Been Shipped. It's set in the same world as With Love from Cold World, and I really loved With Love from Cold World, so I was excited to get one of the side characters from that one to see his own story. That one's kind of a old bandmates get a second chance while on a cruise to rekindle what could have been from years ago, and I just really love her writing, and I was really glad to get back into that world that she's created. That one might be coming out here in June.
Yeah, I think that one is probably beginning of June coming out. Yeah.
So yeah, that one also was a really good contemporary that I read probably a couple months ago now. But yeah, that one was also a really good one that I enjoyed.
I know that you recently had recommended to me the Hot Vampire Next Door series, which I devoured. So thank you for the recommendation. I have to continue going down the Nikki St Crowe rabbit hole.
She definitely has some like darker things. So yeah, I think that's one of her more accessible for people So yeah, she definitely has some darker stuff that you can get into with her. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was exciting. But did you have any other paranormals that you've been diving into? Something newer?
There is a Fae romance series, the Filthy Rich Fae books from Geneva Lee. The second book in the series just came out, I think, last month. I've loved Geneva Lee's, both of her series that I've read so far. Her Filthy Rich Vampire series, and now Filthy Rich Fae. She is like the queen of leaving me wanting the next book immediately. So I'm sad that I have to wait now for the next book in the Filthy Rich Fae series. But if you like the rich but grumpy, surly main character, either series, you can't go wrong with her on that. Her Fae series actually has more, there are other paranormal creatures involved, but that one takes place in New Orleans, so you get that history involved as well. So I really liked that one. You scroll through my list of everything I've read so far this year. I did just listen to the audiobook from Kimberly Lemming, the I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Romcom.
Yes.
So that one's got aliens in it. I love that one. I laughed so much reading that one. She just has such a way with storytelling. And the audiobook for that one was just phenomenal.
She is hysterical.
Yeah.
Actually, I recently also read a author, Jessica Cage. And I think if you like Kimberly Lemming, you probably also like Jessica Cage. So
Okay.
those are fun too.
I read a male, female dragon shifter romance on Kindle Unlimited called Kiss of Smoke by Amy Penza, I believe was the last name. That's part of a series. That's like the first book in a series, but it was really good. I devoured that one in a day or two as well. Again, you got some protective dragon shifters that how can you go wrong with some protective dragon shifters when you got two of them that all they want to do is take care of you? Yeah, sucks me right in. Sucks me right in every time. I read a contemporary romance called He's to Die For. That one might still be coming out sometime this month. That one's by Aaron Dunn. And it's a cop in New York who ends up falling for the lead suspect in the murder case that he's working. I loved it. I just could not get through that one fast enough. It was just like fun and also like how can you not love the cop falling for his murder suspect? It was great. It was unique. Yeah, I love that one. I had never read her before. That one was fun. I finally read a Sarah Kate book this year. I feel like she's everywhere on social media. So I read Keep Me, Marriage of Convenience. You're stuck in a Scottish castle mansion with the big burly Scott. That one was fun, like a dream. How I would love to have to stuck getting married to some big burly Scottish man. That would just be horrible. It would be horrible. I finally listened to the audiobooks for Lights Out as well as Butcher and Blackbird this year, and I'm sad that I slept on both of those for so long because those were both just, if you haven't and you like darker romances, definitely those two. I haven't read anything else in the Ruinous Love series yet. They're on my list to get through, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, and the second book in Lights Out, after Lights Out, just is coming out next week. So
yeah, I'm excited, especially with Teddy Hamilton doing the audio narration. I'm beyond excited to listen to that one.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. I can't wait. And that one is supposed to be like a little bit of a kink club second chance. Like it's got all the things.
It's going to be good. That's probably one of my most anticipated still coming out books this year.
I co-sign. But I'm excited you like both of them because I feel like they're also such great entry plays for dark romance because they have a little bit of a lightness to them, little humor and stuff. So
Lights Out especially. The humor in that one was above and beyond what I was expecting. I immediately fell in love with Josh, the main male character. He was just fantastic. So I can't wait to see what Junior's going to be like in the next book.
Yeah, same. And also, I mean, Josh and the cat, Oh, so
That was like I loved the romance, but that was the second romance in the book that you have two romances to fall in love with in that book. So
definitely. Oh my God, it was so adorable.
yeah, I'm hoping there's something similar. We need some kind of cute animal
Yeah,
in the second book as well, just to compete. Because
I know, right? Yeah. Hopefully we get that. That'll be good.
yeah, other than that, I probably read more so far this year in Kindle Unlimited than I normally do. So I feel like I'm actually taking advantage
Yeah.
of that monthly subscription fee. I'm happy for myself for that because a lot of times I feel like, oh, I hit one or two books maybe in like a month and I'm not really getting my money's worth, but or helping authors the way that I could be.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm doing that a little bit more this year. So between Kindle Unlimited and reread, my number of arcs have definitely gone down this year, but I'm not upset with that. Definitely more mood reading, and my mood has taken me the paranormal route a lot this year so far.
Yeah, I think that it makes total sense, especially like if you get burnt out with contemporary, because that's usually what happens to me. Yes, there's a lot of good contemporaries, but there's also a lot of the same,
Yeah.
which it can be fine. Little paranormal to sprinkle things in. It's always good.
Sometimes you just need to wonder how this mortal human woman is gonna be able to spend eternity with her vampire love. And it's always a different way that it magically happens and
Yeah.
turns out in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for all the paranormal, for reading actually older, but also I do see a couple of new things starting to pop up here and there. So I think there's definitely a bit of a resurgence, let's say, of paranormal, but in a very like different way than what we had before, which
Yeah.
can be exciting too. So
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to read Romcom.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be coming out, but because it's zombies. I have read some zombies, so I'm interested to see what's going on in this one with the vampire. I think he's a vampire next door in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So
Yeah.
it sounds like a wild ride. I'm all for weird at the
Yeah.
moment.
And sometimes you just need something you've never really read before just to pull you in. And oh, I haven't read anything remotely like that.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think can get difficult for authors to do that. So whenever you find that, it's oh wow, so good.
Which is
Yeah.
why you need to read Under Lock and Key, so that way you get the
Yes.
Lochness monster.
I will do that. I will do that. I will report back. I actually thought about that because that's why I got the audiobook when it came out because I said, oh my God, this sounds like something I should read because I have not read that anywhere. The closest I have read to that, there's a series by Carrie Arthur and it's urban fantasy. I think it's called the Myths and Legends or something like that, where the woman is technically like she's not necessarily Loch Ness monster, but it's Loch Ness monster ish.
Okay.
Like she does shift, and there's a thread of Loch Ness monster in the storyline. So that's probably the closest. And it's not necessarily there is a romance, but it's more urban fantasy. So yeah, I think that's definitely something I'm going to do.
Okay.
That's it. I love that. All right. So what else are you looking forward to besides Caught Up that is on your read before 2025? Anything that's absolutely you need to get it done before the end of the year?
I'd really like to finish rereading and get through the rest of the Black Dagger Brotherhood before the next book comes out in September. That's a lot of books to get through, so we'll see. We'll see how far I can get. Especially, I'm only on book 4 right now, so we'll see how close I can get before September. Maybe if that's all I read between now and then, I can get through all of them because it would be all of the main ones, all of the crossover. It would be all of them. So I have a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But I am excited for another Black Dagger Brotherhood in September. And there's another Arjano book coming out in July, I believe. Maybe September. So I always look forward to those to add to that series. And beyond that, I haven't really looked too far ahead, mostly since I'm doing a lot of mood reading. So I haven't really been planning too far ahead because when I started off doing that the beginning of the year and planning ahead and didn't follow any of my planned monthly read lists. So I just threw those out the window and we're taking it book by book at this point.
I think that works the best, right? Because at the end of the day, you're actually reading more in the result is you're reading more now because you're just going with what's working.
And like in May, I felt like I didn't really read a whole lot, and I still ended up with 10 books with me, but it didn't feel like I was reading a whole lot. But I was still reading what I wanted to be reading, and the only way I got through 10 books was because I was reading what my mood called for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I actually feel like May was a little bit the same for me. I ended up with 15 books, but there were like 3-4 days where I wouldn't pick up a book at all. And I think a lot of that, like you're saying, is you're picking up when you do want to pick up a book is something that you're really interested and you're really in the mood for. So you're not, in a way, you're not forcing it, but also when you are reading it, you're reading it faster because you're like so excited for it.
Yeah,
Mood reading for the win, for sure.
for sure.
All right. So where can people follow you? Where can they get all your goodies, your good reviews?
I'm on Instagram and X and Threads and Blue Sky and Substack, all under Books Gen Rex. Same username across all platforms. I haven't posted a review in a little while on Substack, but I plan on getting back into that. That was one thing that kind of went to the wayside in May. So I'm going to hopefully get back into getting some reviews published here soon. I've been quiet on social media for the last month, maybe month and a half, but I'm under all those platforms and we'll be getting a little more active here soon.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah, it was nice not having to think about planning posts and being aware of everything going on and commenting and responding and all that. I was still scrolling, just not interacting or posting myself. So it was nice.
Yeah, I end up doing that sometimes. Like I'll technically disappear from Instagram and not post for 3 weeks, and I'll scroll occasionally. But yeah, sometimes it just feels nice to switch off. All right, thank you so much for coming with tons of recommendations. I've added a couple already to my list because I'm definitely reading the Never list also because it sounds so good. So yeah, I'm excited for all of those. And yeah, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And there you have it, guys. I hope that you got some good recommendations from today's episode and that you've added things to your TBR that you're excited to read. Again, if you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments what you thought of them or if you've added them to your TBR. Also, let me know in the comments what are your favorites of things that you've read so far in 2025. If you're tuning in from YouTube, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos, and subscribe for free to our Substack so you don't miss any of the content that we post across all of our platforms. I will also leave links down below where you can find Jen so you can follow her on Instagram and also subscribe to her Substack so that you can get all the up-to-date book reviews that she posts. But for today, that is all I have for you guys. I hope you find something wonderful to read this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!